fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. About 150 years ago, a man named Henry Robert was asked to chair a meeting at his local church. And no matter how eloquently he tried to run the meeting, it evolved into a complete brawl. It was a mess. It went on forever. And he said, "This is crazy. No meeting should be run like this." And he decided to try to bring some of the British parliamentary procedures into common practice in meetings here in America. His goal was fourfold. He wanted a meeting to run smoothly and keep going. He wanted the meeting to accomplish what was on the agenda, the business at hand. He wanted to make sure that the majority ruled, but that the minority had a voice. And all of these principles eventually became what was known as Robert's Rules of Order over time. But I had to wonder, what if Henry, instead of chairing that meeting, had been the keynote speaker that evening? Might he have ended up writing Robert's Rules of Public Speaking? And what might that look like for us, the poor speakers? Maybe something like this. Can you hear me now? Thank you. Thank you so much. I will now call my speech to order. I'm delighted to be with you here this evening. And of course, I have with me my parliamentarian who will help with any issues that might arise. You've all received the agenda in advance. So hearing no objection, what's that work? You have an objection? Oh, you didn't receive the agenda. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me help you. Yes, of course, I can read it to you now. It's very simple. First, I will start with the title of my speech, then the body of my speech, which will be in 3 parts. The history, the application, and what's in it for you. Then I will give my conclusion, and that will conclude my agenda. Thank you so much. So now, having taken care, what's that? You want to amend the agenda? What is that? Oh, you'd like me to first start with what's in it for you before I go into the history, so that if you decide it's really not relevant for you, you can simply leave and not have to stay around for the rest. Of course, for you, anything at all. I'll be glad to change. What do you mean? I can't do it when he asked me to? Oh, they have to vote. It's majority has to rule. I see. All right. Oh, a vote. I get to take a vote. All right. I know how to do this. All those in favor of changing the agenda to be what's in it for you, followed by the history and the application, please say aye. And all those opposed, please say nay. What do you mean? That's not right. That's how they do it on television. Oh, sorry. All those opposed, please say no. Aha. But you see, it didn't really matter because I didn't hear a sound. So the motion failed, and I'm going to go back to my original speech orders. The title of my speech is How to Run a Productive Business Meeting. This is especially important. Yes, of course I see Michelle waving at me. She's making a motion. I'll wave right back. Michelle, hi. How are you today? Thank you so much to come and hear my speech. I really appreciate it. But do you think maybe we could get together afterwards? I'd kind of like to just keep going now, if that's all right with you. But thank you. Oh, that's not the kind of motion she was making? Oh, she's making a motion. Okay, Michelle, what is your motion? You'd like to change to strike the words productive business meeting and insert the word marathon in the title of my speech. Oh, I see. You'd like my speech to be how to run a marathon. Second? Somebody yelled second? Well, of course I have to give the speech in the second person. I never run a marathon. I couldn't give it in the first person. I'll have to. Oh, that's not what that means? Well, why did they yell second? Oh, that person also wants to run a marathon. Oh, no, that's not right either. Oh, I see. So the person who seconded it just wants to make sure that the audience has a chance to debate this issue and then to vote on it, to decide on my speech title. Okay. Well, since this was your idea, you get to speak first. What is it that why do you want the speech title changed? You don't like business meetings. You've been wanting to run a marathon and you'd like some hints about it. I see. Well, I guess that's perfectly logical. And yes. Of course I recognize Warwick. I've known Warwick for years. Oh, that's not what I have to do. I have to recognize Warwick. He has something to say. You don't like marathons. You'd rather hear about business meetings. I mean, every time I have to recognize someone, but there's a woman there in a red hat who's standing up. I don't recognize her at all. Oh, but I have to recognize her in order to allow her to speak about why she also wants to run a marathon. She'd better take off that red hat before she starts, is all I can say. There are so many people that are trying. I can't recognize them all. What am I going to do? But what is that? Wait, Jen has a different motion? Jen, what is your motion? You want to move the previous question. But where do you want to move it to? New Jersey? Oh, I see. If her motion passes, that means we stop all of this debate and they get on with the vote. Oh, at last, I think that that's just exactly what I want to do. And her motion, yes, somebody has seconded her motion, so we can move forward with that. But you know what? I've got a problem here, because according to the agenda, that's the amount of time that I was allocated for my entire speech. And now, because the time on the agenda has been reached, I have to adjourn my speech. And I'll never even find out whether these people wanted to hear about marathons or business meetings. What a terrible situation to have to leave with. But my speech is adjourned.